What's up guys, in the last video we learned about the stat area on the Gearloc Mat. In this video we will go through the rest of the Gearloc Mat. The first area we will look at is the exhausted dice area. When skill dice are used, they are placed in the exhausted dice area. They are stored to the left of the Gearloc Mat for the rest of the battle and are not available for your use. For example, Boomer wants to make a grenade. Mid-battle she rolls a casing, so she will turn her 3 ingredients into a grenade. The component dice are taken from the locked area and placed in the exhausted area. Boomer's boom counter increases by 1, and she now has 1 grenade to use later in the game. Any dice in the exhausted dice area are unusable for the remainder of the current battle. Once the battle is over though, all exhausted dice are unexhausted and placed back in the skills area. There are some baddies who have skills that force you to exhaust attack or defense dice. For example, the clay golem has a skill named Break. Break causes any attack dice used to reduce the golem's health to exhaust. Boomer rolls 2 attack dice against the golem. One comes up bones and the other succeeds in the attack. Boomer applies that 1 damage to the clay golem using the attack die. Since Boomer has chosen to apply the damage, the attack die is exhausted, and Boomer's attack value of 2 is reduced by 1 for the entirety of the battle. Next, we will take a look at the Gearloc's prep area. The prep area is where the picture of the Gearloc is located. This is where your Gearloc with its current HP sits whilst awaiting battle. Any buff HP is also placed in the prep area. There are also some Gearlocs who use the prep area to stage certain skills, like Tink. Tink's spider bots are placed in the prep area temporarily while they are charged up and ready for battle. The next area that we will take a look at is the skills area. Each Gearloc has 16 skills that they can learn throughout the game. These skills can be used for battle, healing, and many other helpful activities. The game begins with each skills area empty. Some Gearlocs start with a few skills like Boomer. Taking a look at our handy dandy reference sheet, any skill that has a circle around it is one that your Gearloc begins the game with. In this case, Boomer starts with her ingredients dice. These are dice 1 through 4 in her skills area. She starts with element, casing, fuse, and the boom counter. These dice are placed into their correspondingly numbered places. The side showing doesn't matter except for counters like Boomer's boom counter, which always starts at 0. Gearlocs gain further skills throughout the game by succeeding in encounters and gaining training points. In this case, Boomer has gained a training point, so she will train her number 5 skill, Frag. Skills are usable once per battle, then they are exhausted unless otherwise noted. The reference sheet briefs players on how to use their skills. In the top right corner of the stat area, professions for each Gearloc are listed. Professions are sets of skills that go together. For example, Keen Eye is listed as yellow. It includes 3 skill dice and must start with the starred skill, Body Search. Any skills marked with a star may be learned at any time. Skills that have arrows going to them must meet a prerequisite of the previous skill. The final portion of the skills area that needs reviewing is consumables. Consumables are skills that are not trainable through training points. Instead, they are gained through either loot or certain backup plans. For example, the loot card Fortunate Discovery allows the Gearloc to select a consumable dice and place it in its spot on the Gearloc Mat. Once a consumable has been used, it is placed back with the Gearloc's other skill dice in the storage tray. Let's take a look at the backup plan. Backup plan skills are skills that can be used with failed dice rolls. When a bones is rolled, players can choose to put them in their backup plans, where they accumulate. Only 1 backup plan skill may be used per turn. Each Gearloc's reference sheet shows what each backup plan skill can do. Let's say Boomer wants to use her backup plan skill, Bluff Bomb. This requires at least 3 bones in her backup plan, which she has. She would use the first 3 bones in her backup plan, and the 4th would shift to the left. Attack and defense dice are removed as usual, but any skill dice used in this way are exhausted. Bones remain until they are used or battle is over, or the Gearloc is KO'd. Multi-bone dice take up several spots in the backup plan, but if the backup skill only requires part of the multi-bones die, the entire die must be spent. Boomer uses throw odds, but the entire die is spent. Next, active slots. Defense dice as well as active dice and ally active dice are placed here. They remain until used, end of battle, or KO. Skill dice are exhausted after use. Next, we'll look at locked slots. Locked skill dice are placed here. These dice remain until used. Skill dice are exhausted as previously shown. If a Gearloc is KO'd, then all lock dice will be cleared. Our final subject on the agenda today is loot. Loot is placed to the right of the Gearloc Mat. Each Gearloc can hold up to 4 loot and trove loot combined. Loot and trove loot will be explored more in depth in a later video. And you now know all the functions of the Gearloc Mat. In the next video, we will take a look at baddies as well as tyrants.